Alright, my name is Shannon O'Connell. I'm a senior here at UO. My major is environmental studies and I work here in the Schofield lab. So how I got interested in climate work in the first place was when I was a little kid. I'm 21, so I grew up watching WALL-E and the Lorax, and those movies scared me as a kid. And I was like, oh my gosh, why is no one freaking out about this? I need to do something. And that's where I am today. Something else that inspired me to pursue an education in environmental studies was the Alameda fire in 2020. I was living in Phoenix, Oregon at the time, and we got hit pretty hard. And while I did make some really good scholarship essays because I was a junior in high school at the time, it also really emphasized the need for better policy surrounding climate change. I feel like the Alameda fire could have been prevented if proper measures were taken into place. So that's another reason why I was driven to get an education. I would like to help protect endangered species or advocate for certain natural landscapes that would protect a certain species or just an ecosystem in general. I would just love to provide that protection and also provide data on how to help conserve and protect the species further. The biggest thing, especially for people my age in our 20s, is reducing our overall consumption, especially when it comes to fast fashion, because that is a huge one. Like, shopping secondhand is very helpful, and just asking yourself, do I really need to buy that new skirt? Is, you know, I'm kind of talking to myself here. That's something I struggle with a lot. So I think reducing our overall consumption can actually do wonders. I think so. I'm very optimistic about not just my generation, but like Gen Alpha, the generation below me. I think there's a lot more awareness when it comes to climate, a lot of awareness that didn't exist prior. A lot of older generations, like Gen X, like my dad, for example, he's always telling me like, oh, my generation ruined the environment and your generation's gonna fix it. You have to fix this mess we made. And we're just like, why are you putting all the pressure on us, So I feel like my generation, Gen Z, has a different approach where we're like, okay, we're gonna take care of the environment now, not just for future generations, but for us as well, instead of just continuing to put it off and say, oh, well, the next generation's gonna fix it. I feel like we're a lot more active now. Something specifically that brings me hope is sea otters. They are a keystone species, and there's a lot of efforts being made right now to reintroduce them to Oregon. And a fun fact about sea otters is that they eat sea urchins, and because they eat sea urchins, they actually help kelp forests thrive. And if sea otters can move back to Oregon and we can have kelp forests again, that would be a huge game changer for helping our climate issues, because a kelp forest the same size as a land forest can actually sequester 20 times more CO2. So if we can really prioritize kelp forests by helping to protect sea otters, that brings me a lot of hope. I know that there's a Native American tribe in Oregon that recently received a large grant to help protect and bring sea otters back to Oregon. So that makes me very excited. I believe the grant was around $1 million, so that makes me optimistic. My dream school for graduate school is Cal State Monterey Bay. Unfortunately, it's in Monterey Bay, so that's very expensive. I'm not sure if I can pull that off, but they do sea otter research. So going back to sea otters, that's something that would be a dream of mine. And I hope to use my time in graduate school to really hone in on research skills so I can work on being a conservation biologist. Sea otters are voracious creatures, meaning they eat massive amounts of food. So every day, this is daily, they need to eat 30% of their body weight every day.